For today's movie review, I'll be reviewing The Suicide Squad, the third installment of the DC Extended Universe, and also the first comic movie to be about supervillains. Also, this is a very important film in the grand scheme of things. It's not only is it a film about supervillains, it's also the first DC movie not to be directed by Zack Snyder, but instead being directed by David Ayer, who's known for directing movies such as Fury, which was pretty good, and directing Sabotage, which was really bad. Is Suicide Squad any good? As for the plot of The Suicide Squad, it's about a secret government agency led by Amanda Waller who decides to recruit imprisoned supervillains to execute dangerous Black Ops missions in order to save the world from a powerful witch known as the Enchantress. In terms of what I liked about the movie, I actually like the fact that after having so many comic movies, we finally have one just about the supervillains. Because anytime Hollywood tries to incorporate more than one supervillain within a superhero movie, the results are almost never good. And the fact that we have, a movie just about the supervillains, I think it works here. My favorite part of the movie is when the Suicide Squad decides to go to the bar. I like this scene for two reasons. One, the scene in itself reminds me a lot of the scene at the beginning of Avengers Age of Ultron where we just have the Avengers sitting there shooting the shit. And two, at this point in the movie, we really get to know what these characters are like. And in terms of the acting, I think it's okay. Although I think as far as the performances go, I think the ones that stood out to me the most were Will Smith playing Deadshot, because Will Smith being Will Smith, but hey, he plays Deadshot just fine. Harley Quinn I thought was just okay. And I think out of the squad members that stood to me, El Diablo was probably the one I actually liked the most. I thought the person playing Amanda Waller was pretty good. And as far as the costumes go, I have mixed feelings. I'm going to start with the costumings that I thought worked for the characters, then go into which ones I didn't think worked for the characters later on. But I think the costumes that worked for the characters in this movie, the costume for Deadshot looks like Deadshot. I think my only nitpick about that is the eyepiece is on the wrong side of the face, but other than that, I guess since that is Deadshot. Rick Flack's costume in this movie is just a military uniform, but considering the fact that he wears a yellow sweater with gun holsters, this is an improvement, and I actually think it works with his character for this movie. Katana actually looks like Katana, and El Diablo looks like El Diablo, in the sense that it's just some dude with tattoos. So, design-wise, I thought those four characters actually looked like their comic counterparts. In terms of what I disliked with the movie, have you ever watched a movie trailer and you notice that there are certain clips that only appear in the trailer but they don't appear in the final product? Well, the same can be said for this movie because there are a lot of scenes that only appear in the advertising that doesn't appear in this movie. Case in point, we never see the Enchantress saying, "Let's have some fun," nor the fight between Killer Croc and Katana, or the Joker throw a grenade saying, "Bye-bye." We don't see any of that. Feels like there's a lot of scenes missing. Oh, and speaking of the Joker, this has got to be the worst on-screen incarnation of the Joker. Not for the performance, mind you, because I actually thought the performance was alright, but he's the most forgettable Joker. How do you do that? You make one of the most iconic DC supervillains the most forgettable character in the entire movie. Now, granted, I do understand that the Joker in this movie is not meant to be the main focus, and he's supposed to be taking a back seat. And what he does, it's just, he has very limited screen time. It's so limited, every time he shows up in a movie, I forgot he was even in the movie. Also, the first 20 minutes of this movie are rough. Really rough. Because the pacing's all over the place, the writing is all over the place, and the visual aesthetics are all over the place. It is just a mess. And it's literally just an info dump. If you had no idea who these characters are, do not worry. They go into detail about each and every single character, and I got a headache out of it. And, after those 20 minutes, the pacing, the writing, the visual styles get slightly better as the movie progresses. And continuing off what I said about the costume design, even though I do like the costumes for Deadshot, El Diablo, Katana, and Rick Flag, the costuming for all the other squad members I don't like at all. Harley Quinn, to me, just looks like a cheerleader. And I get that they're trying to base her appearance off her 52 incarnation, but I feel like they could have made something more reminiscent of that of her outfit as seen in either Arkham Asylum or do some kind of modern take on the Jester outfit. Captain Boomerang just does not look like Captain Boomerang. If anything, he kind of looks more like a bum than a mercenary. The Joker, okay, he goes through several costumes, but his initial costume you see him wearing, he looks less Clown Prince of Crime and more the Pimp Prince of Crime. And the idea of a Joker with tattoos, I'm totally okay with. It's just the subject matter of the tattoos. I also don't like that grill on his teeth. It just annoys me. And the costume design that bugs me the most is the costume seen for Enchantress. Now granted, in her comic book counterpart, she's gone through several costume changes over the years, from looking like a witch, a legit sorceress, to looking like a teenage witch kind of thing. But her costume in the movie just baffles me in terms of where it came from. Like, seriously. Yeah, she actually has two costumes in this movie. The first one looks like Calypso wearing a slave Leia outfit, and her second form looks less Enchantress and looks more like Gods of Egypt. Like, this costume design just bugs me so much. And I have some conflicting feelings about the Killer Croc character, because on one hand, I do like the fact that Killer Croc finally appears in a live-action movie. And as far as the character goes, I think they did all they could with him. And the makeup on him looks pretty great. It's just, he's typically not a staple member of the Suicide Squad, because his role in the movie is just being the muscle of the group, which typically goes to King Shark, since he is a staple member of the squad. Hell, I even heard that the director wanted to put King Shark in the movie, but didn't want to because he didn't want a CGI character in the movie, which is kind of hypocritical considering the fact that the secondary villain is a CGI character. So on one hand, I'm happy that Killer Croc's in the movie, but I just kind of wish King Shark was in the role of him instead. For my final verdict of the Suicide Squad, I didn't think the movie was as bad as I was expected to be, considering the fact that I went with very, very, very low expectations. Granted, the first 20 minutes are rough, but it gets better from there. And I think as far as a movie about the Suicide Squad goes, I actually do think this one's good, but if you really want to watch a really good movie about the Suicide Squad, I recommend Batman Assault on Arkham. But as far as this movie goes, I actually do think it's good. Just not perfect, just good. And before I give my final rating, what did everybody else have to say about Suicide Squad? The reception to this is rather similar to that of the reception that Batman v Superman was getting around this point in time, where it seems like the critics will hate it, but the fans love it. And so for my final rating of the Suicide Squad, I give it a 3 out of 5. So, what's your favorite DC supervillain that's been known to be a part of the Suicide Squad? And see you later.